back. We're back. We're talking NBA Finals, NHL Finals. Have we seen the last of Tarik Skubal in Detroit? The answer is probably yes, for the good. And this guy, Jersey Fred's got a big announcement, and I have no clue what it is. Going to see a Super Bowl win. Like, my window is closing, Fred.
Never know. I mean, it could happen. I could end up at one of these Chauncey Billups poker games.
It's Monday, y'all.
Welcome back to the show after our vacation with MDW. How you been, Fred? It's been a while.
Good, man. Still recovering from MDW.
You went at it hard.
Yeah, well, not as hard as I would have in Jersey, but yeah, it was nice. You know, yesterday I couldn't make it to my baseball game. It was the Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon, and we're downtown. All these streets are closed. It finished maybe 3 blocks from our building.
Okay. Did you run it? You didn't partake?
What's that?
You didn't partake?
Nah. I stood outside and just smoked cigs the whole time.
Nice.
And watched people run by.
You weren't handing out waters, nothing?
Stogies.
There you go. I'm just heading over the lighter.
Yeah. So it literally finished, like I said, 3 blocks from our building, but on our street here. So game was at 1. I couldn't really get out, and I could have cut through this parking lot here to bounce out, but it went past our building, but also then this way past the next street. So I would have to bob and weave and it was crazy getting out of here so it started at 6:15, right? AM Pacific time, because, you can't keep the streets closed all day. I get it. So at about 4:30 in the morning, we hear a PA system, and they're testing out the speakers and registration. And I'm like, I had a hard time sleeping. I don't know why. I didn't have caffeine or anything, but at one point, Mary's like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" I'm like, they're just checking out the PA system out there. Because it's called the Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon. So every couple miles, there's bands playing throughout the city. So it's pretty cool. But we went out Saturday night right here into Little Italy, and the streets were closed already, where the finishing stages are, where everybody's going to be covered in fucking aluminum foil wrap things. Those people.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah, but
I've been partaking in any marathons.
But the city just down, especially around here, was pretty popping Friday, Saturday, just because of all the people that came. I think it was close to 20,000 people in it.
Wow. That's
so all these hotels and shit, We went out to dinner Saturday night. We go 3 blocks away, and it's a good little place. Mary loves it. Good little place, family owned. I believe they are Argentinian, maybe, or El Salvadorian, something like that. Family owned, Italian place though. But we go there usually, and we sit at the bar, and there's a couple here and there, but it's right across the street from 2 hotels. So I think when people check in, it's kind of off the beaten path. Little Italy is that way. It's this way, 3 blocks. Okay. So it's not in the heart of Little Italy. So I just think if you check into a hotel right there, one of those 2, you're probably going to eat there because it's right there, So usually there's some people here and there. We went Saturday night, dude. Place was mobbed.
Are they all runners and people in town for the marathon?
Yeah. Well, the symphony was also going on, which is the San Diego Symphony, which is 2 blocks that way as well. So I guess because I heard somebody say something, and the kid behind the bar, Diego, we made friends with him. His name's Diego. Good kid.
Nice.
He was happy to see us come back because I guess they get a lot of hotel people they never see again. So, it was good.
They need the regulars.
What's that?
They like the regulars.
Yeah, because they were so happy that we came back. It was our 3rd time there, actually. And so he was really fired up. he likes to talk to us because like he's like, yeah, it's nice to see people. I mean, Brad, he's a kid. Like
Right.
I mean, his mom runs the place and stuff like that, but the dude, he does run it too, but he's a fucking kid, bro. I'm
Right.
like it was getting crazy. Mary's like, I'll jump in if you need me. I was a server for 15 years.
Go figure. Go figure. Well, I'm looking
Wha-
forward to meeting Diego in 17 days, my friend. 17 days and counting. I will be in San Diego with Fred and Mary and a bunch of other people. But
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
we gotta figure some things out. We have a couple things planned. You know,
You know I'm down for anything.
I know there's one place that Mary's gonna get resis at that. I mean, you're gonna love all the food that we take you to, but
Yeah.
but this one joint that we're gonna end up going to is just it's fucking dope as hell. We love it. The Mexican spot that we're gonna take you to, we'll probably end up going there more than once, just because. I mean, if you're into like street tacos and shit like that, like
You know
uh,
me. I'm into anything.
it's the
I'm into it.
best Mexican food in the world outside of Mexico.
That's a bold statement, Fred. Bold statement.
Well, I mean, it's a high majority of Mexicans in this area here.
Fair.
So, I mean, it's very authentic. It's so, it's just amazing.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Well, game 7 Saturday night.
Yes.
Spurs, OKC.
Wow.
Wow was right. I totally wanted the Spurs to win. I've been saying it from day one, and I said they would win as long as Wemby stayed healthy, and he did that. He did that. And it's amazing to me to see some of these role players for the Spurs, young role players, really step up in game 7. And SGA had a great game. He just couldn't do it all. I mean, I was listening to a podcast this morning and they were talking about Chet Holmgren and what a terrible game 7 he had. And they put it in a pretty decent perspective. It's like, man, he's been 7 foot. He's been tallest guy his entire life, whether it was in middle school, high school, college, going to the pros. And then he runs into Wemby. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine living your entire life the tallest person? And now you're on this platform as which you're going to shine with your height. And now somebody just comes in and puts you right in their shadow is exactly. And it showed. Did it not? I mean, he
Well,
literally froze in game
and
7.
I saw that like Chet was getting some bad publicity after like game 7. Like my thing is, it's hard to try to compare anyone to Wemby, so that's kind of like unfair. Plus, Chet's not like an explosive player.
For sure. For sure.
So like I feel bad for the kid kind of. I always thought he was a little soft, but and that has nothing to do with it because the NBA's soft anyway. So like it kind of fits. But
Right.
it sucks that like they're like throwing a little blame on him for game 7 where it's like, dude, no one can go up against Wemby. Like it's hard to like blame a kid like that. And he's not like an explosive player. He's a really good player. But
Holmgren.
Chat, yeah. I mean, he's a really good player, but like it's kind of sucks that like he takes a little bit of heat for like not shutting down Wemby. Like no one did. No one
And
can.
impossible. No one
Yeah.
can. Well,
Yeah.
with that being said, do you think the NBA got what they wanted in this matchup with the Knicks and San Antonio? I kind of heard mixed, and I don't understand why, OKC is obviously a big market team at this point, winning last year for the most part. I mean, big market is a kind of a stretch because of where they're at, but they did win last year. The possibility going back to back. Do you think the NBA wanted this Wemby New York Knicks matchup, or
Yeah,
what
I
were
mean,
your
I
thoughts
think
on that?
that Texas in general is a bigger market than OKC. OKC is a mid market to small market. No matter how many times you win, it is. They're the only team in town, technically
Right.
in OKC. So like it's and I think that the Wemby thing too. Like everybody was waiting for Wemby. Like SGA is awesome, but like the hype leading up with Wemby. I think everyone.
Prior to
Yeah, I mean, like I remember talking to you before the draft, and I was like,
way
yeah,
before the draft. I
I'm
never
like,
even heard of the kid, and I started watching reels on him, and I'm like, whoa, Yeah, this
I
is back
think
when you were living here.
I said something to you like, whoever gets Wemby's going to the playoffs and blah
100
blah blah within like or like something like that. And I'm like, that's
100%.
how good this dude is. Like, like, and now and everybody was like waiting for Wemby. Like, and then he wasn't healthy last year, really. He had the leg thing in the
Right,
playoffs. So like I think that like, and he's easily liked. Not that SGA's not. I
right.
just think
No,
like he's like I think people
seems
love
like a
this.
wholesome kid.
I just think that people love this fucking kid.
Yeah,
And their team before Wemby, they were setting up for this was the fact that like they are young and good.
yeah.
Like so like this run and they did went on a run last year too. So like it's not crazy, but it's like I mean this run's gonna this is they're like they remind me of a team like a Golden State Warrior team where like this team may be in like the top 2 in the conference for the next 5 years.
Good. No, that was going to be my next question. If they do beat the Knicks, do you see this team becoming a dynasty with him on there?
Well,
Is this your
like
next dynasty?
I still think that OKC is really good as well. I I'm not sure what's going to go on with Denver. You never know what's going to happen with the Lakers. You can never count them out. But like the steady winning that the Spurs will have, and in the next like 5 years, like I'm not sure they'll win rings, but they're going to be in. They're going to be in the conversation.
Will this Spurs team be better than any of the ones in the past with David Robinson and Parker and Tim
That's
Duncan,
I
Ginobili?
Yeah, I those teams are amazing. Like
Big
different
shoes to
game,
fill.
different game. But
Different game, true.
right now, I guess we don't really know because it's really early. Maybe in
Very
like
early.
maybe in like 5 years from now, we can compare those two kind of teams. If this team stays together long, Dylan Harper and like Estelle and like all these guys stick together, it would be interesting. And I hope it
Right.
happens
Right.
because. But yeah,
Now,
no. As
will
for the
you?
finals, I got the
Yeah.
Knicks.
I know you're not a Knicks fan. I know you're not just like, hey, I want to see my friends be happy. Why are you picking the Knicks?
Well, I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm also not a Knicks hater. I worked for them for 5 years, 6 years, got to know like some of the people in the organization. I was never really a Knick hater. So like that wasn't really a problem for me. I would like to see it for the city. That's cool. But I just think like they're fucking hot right now. Like I've never seen a team that just like 2 sweeps and three games in a row in the playoffs. Like, so round 1, they win the last 3 and then sweep the next round, sweep the next round. It's like, I don't know what else you want them to do. Like,
Especially
like,
after losing to the Hawks, right? Because a couple games to the Hawks, you're like, maybe this team
yeah.
isn't that good. And
And
then they
then,
just go on
and
a
then
tear.
they win the last 3 against the Hawks, sweep Sixers, sweep Cleveland, which is, I'm not surprised they beat those teams. It's just the way they beat them was like what we thought OKC would be doing,
Okay.
which they
Yeah. Yeah.
did.
Yeah. They
Kind
did.
of.
They did. They swept
Kind
every
of.
team other than the Spurs.
Yeah.
They didn't lose until they played the Spurs.
Yeah.
But like, who do you think is going to be the guy, or what guys do you think are going to be able to stop Wemby? Like, what's the plan here?
I'm sure it's going to be about stopping Wemby. It's just about scoring more points. Like Brunson has to. Brunson's in a cage situation where like you have to expect 30 from Brunson or like 25. Like like it has to like. There's nothing else that guy. He has to put him up. OG is going to be huge, and then so like like there's a lot of guys can score. Mitch broke his pinky. He's still playing, but it's like well. Mitch Robinson can't shoot anyway, so it doesn't really matter that he broke
Right.
his pinky.
Right.
Get a couple of fucking putbacks, some rebounds, play your 18, 20 minutes.
But it's also another body to throw at Wemby.
Yes. And
Right.
like when he broke his pinky, it was like, whoa, he broke his pinky. I'm like, dude, he's there to fucking foul Wemby. Like, or not foul Wemby. Like, just to interrupt him for
Right.
fucking the 18 minutes that Mitch is in the game. Like, like bully him around a little or so. But the thing with like that mentality where like you think your big guy is in there to stop Wemby. It's not true really anymore with Wemby's game because
Yeah.
he shoots outside. He's not a post up guy. So it's like with the switches, you can't have Mitch at the top of the fucking key against Wemby. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that, like, we don't really know yet how the defense is going to stack up. Like, it's not going to, like, when Wemby brings the ball up, it's not going to be Brunson on Wemby. I don't, but maybe it is. I mean, but like, obviously, like, we're going to see what happens when they ISO Wemby. Like, who is going to be the guy? Is it going to be OG? Like, who's going to be the guy to try to stop him? Now, we've already seen the Knicks can score a ton of points. So I think these games are going to be high scoring. I love the over in all of the games, basically.
Right.
Why not? So
I actually, I've been pulling for Wemby since I have this entire year. I want to see him win. But my tune has kind of changed, Fred. And ironically, I'm with you. I want to see the Knicks win. Now, I didn't really get exposure to Brunson until last year when he played against the Pistons. And when he played against the Pistons, I couldn't stand him. Of course, right? I couldn't stand him. But then after they beat the Pistons, and then I watch him play, I'm like, this guy's awesome. Like, why do I hate him so much? Because I wish he was on our team.
Yeah. And
right.
Also,
and so with that being said, I want to see the Knicks win. I want to see Timothy Chalamet happy. All I want him is to be happy.
I mean, that's understandable. The crazy thing is it's really crazy out there right now. Like I don't know if you follow any like Nick account.
No, but in the
like
national media, we're seeing a lot of video of downtown of New York and everything and what's going on in there. I don't know. It's just to see the people that are at the Knicks games, and I think it's so cool. And I even said over the weekend, I said, honestly, right now, a bucket list trip for me would be to go to the Garden and watch a basketball game. That's it. I want to go. Like, I don't care if it's the Pistons. I don't care if they're playing a shit team. I want to go experience the Garden.
The Garden is like, dude, when the Knicks are bad, the Garden's popping. Like it's like the Garden is a different fucking animal. The Ranger games at the Garden, like, dude, you go to a Ranger game there too. Crazy. Like, just like you feel the energy. It's one of the places where you feel that fucking energy when you walk in and you're like, okay, like it doesn't matter don't matter who's playing, right? You walk into the Garden and you're like, okay, I get it now. Like, like energy is fucking high, which is fucking so dope. But yeah, I mean, outside though of the Garden, like this whole playoff run has been, you have to try to follow something. It has been hilarious and fucking totally crazy. Like absolutely fucking nuts. I think the last game they went, for the away games, they were having watch parties outside the Garden.
But they stopped that.
So they had to stop it. It was too crazy. But like the last one they had before they stopped it, it was just fucking wild, bro. Like it looked like the police were ready for a riot. Like there was like hundreds of police lined up waiting for the end of the game. Like, to try to shuffle people away, away into, it was just wild. So now they're setting up watch parties all over the city, smaller ones, to try to control them a little bit. So it's going to be dope, man. The city is like on fire. Like, it's pretty dope. I've mentioned this to you. Like it's one of those things where the NBA is better when the Knicks are in the playoffs, when the Lakers are in the playoffs, the Celtics, hate to say it, but teams you hate have to be in the playoffs.
I agree. As much as I don't want to admit it, I agree with you. And I was just listening to a podcast too that Jason Williams, both of us are fans of White Chocolate, and we're going to talk about him a little bit more later in the show. But he was talking about his experience playing at the Garden, and he's like, because correct me if I'm wrong, and I believe I heard this from you. The garden itself is not very aesthetically pleasing as you walk into it or anything like that. And my understanding is that it's kind of a dump, but when you get on that floor and the atmosphere is what makes this. And he was saying, like, I had to come up some like shitty elevator in order to get there. And he said, but when you're on the floor playing and the energy that's in that stadium, it's a whole different bottle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the garden's old. They did revamp it up and stuff like that. Spent a ton of money in there, but I mean, it's a weird place. It's a weird venue because it's actually on the 5th floor.
That's what he was talking about, taking
So,
the
yeah, so you have to go when you go in because it's on top of Penn Station.
okay.
You go in and you go up. Now there's like these, and when I was working with them, I know exactly what he's talking about. There's like these service elevators that for like, teams and like equipment, shit like that. You go up and down those, like when it's weird because like when they have the circus, stuff like that, like they're bringing like animals up the elevator, right? So it's
Right.
kind of cool, but like, yeah, it's not like it's not LCA when you walk in there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like everything is brand new, like, but when you get into the garden and the game starts and shit, like people start to fill in, it's also low hanging. Like if you're up top, back in the day, they used to pound on the ceiling, like
Really?
up top. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's the 5th floor. It can only go up so high, right?
For sure.
But like, yeah, it's kind of weird that whole like the way it's like constructed. But like, yeah, it's a magical place, dude. I mean, like you would love it there. You would like I got to see a lot of Knicks games there
Right.
on their run in '99, actually. I was videoing, I was sending so we were working with the Knicks
Oh, I
for
was just saying, you were sending, to put some context, you were working in the audio video department for the Knicks because you weren't sending a video to anybody in 1999.
well, a beta. No.
Right. Right.
So we were sending we were working with their scout team. So the company I worked for started NBA TV, all that stuff before everybody went private. So we were working with the Knicks and I worked on the television show with the Knicks. So like the scouting department asked us to archive games for them and cut.
Nope, you're good. I can see you, but you did slow up.
I think we're back.
I can see you.
Yeah. So we were so what we were doing was archiving the games and sending them over there with no cuts and stuff like that. Cutting a game down to fucking, like just the time. But and they ended up going 99. So like I got to go to a bunch of games too, just because we had passes. So like
Right.
my buddy who was did camera, he lived in the city. So like after like if it was like 4:00 and stuff like that, he'd be like, "You want to go? Do you want to go to the game tonight?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, fuck it." I'm fucking 23 years old. Like
Right. Yeah. Why not?
I'm like, living with my buddies, like, so I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So it was easier to go from work because we were right across the water. Like our office was right by MetLife. So like,
Sure.
Caucus. So we would go from there. He would actually like, he drove, but he would like sometimes drive me back across the tunnel because,
Right.
he was single at the time too. So like, it was awesome, dude. So like,
but cool experience.
and at the time we were also working with the Liberty and they were playing at Madison Square Garden at the time. They now play at Barclay. So like I went to a ton of Liberty games and this is when like viewership was really low. Like,
it was just like you and 3 other chicks.
it was a
game.
lot of kids there, like,
3.
but like, yeah, being in the garden, dude, I mean, I smoked weed in the referees like locker room.
It's awesome.
Like, during
Better than at Alcatraz?
yeah, but like, well, yeah, during the during Ranger games, we would like some like regular season games, like so we were working with the Rangers with same thing on the television show. So
Right.
so we had passes, and if we needed to get like some video of a certain player, that we needed, just some regular ISO footage, we would go in there for a game, and Joe is my buddy. He would just ISO the dude the whole shift, right? So you have like a bunch of shit. So we would get like hey, where can we put our equipment? Oh, dude, use the referee's locker room. Dude, I used to go in there and literally light up in the garden, like, and just smoke a fucking bone, like in the referee's fucking locker room, which is just
That's
like another
hilarious.
media room where they set them
Right.
up to change.
Change.
They would fucking get out of there, go fucking on the ice and stuff like that. I'd go back in there, smoke a fucking bone, and then fucking come back out and fucking find Joe, in wherever he was at, and then fucking just and that we kept our equipment in there. So
Right. For sure. For sure.
yeah, it's a place where you could still smoke a bone in there. Like, like that's the kind of
The-
vibe it has.
The good old days.
Yes, but it
The
still
good
has
old
that
days.
vibe.
Well, speaking of that, now we have, moving on, we have hockey, Stanley Cup, Tuesday, tomorrow.
Yes.
What's your thoughts? Where do you see it?
Dude, the Golden Knights. I mean, I would have bet my arm not my throwing arm, probably
Right.
left, but like that they wouldn't have swept the Avalanche. Like that was crazy.
You
to
were
me.
all in on the Avs.
I thought Avs were taking everything.
Right.
So like, and I know the Golden Knights, and I told you about the Golden Knights series. I'm like, dude, you got to watch these games. It's going to be crazy,
For sure.
I will say this though, defensive wise, the advantage goes to Carolina. Offense goes to Golden Knights. So I don't know what kind of I think it's going to be very tough. I got Carolina. Like, I don't know. Now, I don't care who wins. Like,
Right.
I think every time when the Golden Knights go to the Cup and stuff, I think it's fucking awesome because like expansion team goes to Vegas and just like, it's fucking awesome. Like,
Well,
like,
that's what I was going to bring up to you. 5, 7, 8 years this franchise has been around,
I mean, they're always at the top of the conference.
and they already have won Stanley Cup. They've been to the playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
it's wild.
And I feel like, and I've mentioned this to Mary, not because I rant about sports, and that's going to happen to the A's. I'm telling you, like when the A's go to Vegas, they're already designed to win in a couple years because of the prospects and bringing their guys up and where they're at right now as an organization. When they get to Vegas in 2028, they're going to be at the top of the AL.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like, it's going to be pretty cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders, they're probably a couple years away, but they're not going to be shitty for too long. Vegas is a weird place, man. Like there's a lot of money to be made.
Do you
in
feel
Vegas.
it's going to be the same case with the Raiders?
Well, like I said, I don't think the Raiders are going to be shit for too long. Like,
You did say. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think-
okay.
I don't think they're going to be like winning Super Bowls and stuff like that, but they're going to be like relevant, if that makes sense. Like, because right now, like you forget the Raiders are in Vegas. Like you know where the fucking Knights are. Like, like everybody, like Vegas is a Golden Knight city. Like, I think I've told you this, my Uncle Mike, Stephanie's father
Yeah.
and mother, they go to Nevada from January to March every year. They get a
Yeah.
different.
We saw him one time when we were out there.
He did. I was talking to him. So he doesn't really go down to the Strip unless people come and visit, right? They have their own little casino. They're about 20 minutes outside the Strip. I asked him about the Golden Knights, and I'm like, Mike, like, it seems like the games are packed. And I get it. A lot of comps, right? Like,
Right.
there's
Here's
not
some
gonna,
ticket.
it's not going to be empty.
Right.
There's no reason for that arena ever to be empty, even for the Raiders, because you have access to give people fucking free tickets.
Yeah. There's always
said-
somebody willing to go.
He goes to the casino he goes to is a big like mall stuff, blah, blah, blah. He said, when the Knights are on, everyone's watching the television.
Right.
He's like, and we're all transplants. He's like, but
Right. Nobody's from Vegas.
yeah, he's like, but like everyone's watching the TV. Like
Right.
it's huge. So I'm like, that's fucking awesome, dude. So, I mean, I think that's going to be great for the A's,
And what year? Next year? How many more years
I
till
think
they're there?
28.
Okay. Well, speaking of baseball, I wanted to wrap up with baseball, and I wanted to talk a little bit of softball too. crazy as that may sound, because something came up over the weekend and I want to talk to you about it. But now the rumors are flying here in Detroit. You called it from the beginning, to be honest with you. I hate coming on here and being like, yeah, Fred, you're right. Yeah, I feel like that's happening way too often lately.
Only
Fortunately,
mostly about Detroit sports because
nah, I wouldn't necessarily say about Detroit. You got the Wemby thing right.
well,
There's some other things,
I
but
just remember a couple weeks ago when the injury happened, how you said it was a good thing for the Tigers.
I thought it would be a good thing for the Tigers. But I didn't take in consideration that they would be absolute trash at this point. And like the worst team in our division, the worst team in the worst division. Now,
Well, they're the worst team in the league.
you know, so we need to trade. We need to trade him. We need to trade him now.
Yep.
It's a must without a doubt. We need to fill more pieces to the puzzle. I don't know. I would hope that most Tiger fans are on the same page with me that it's time to deal and deal him for some prospects that can play now. Like we can't take and trade him and then have another 2 years of rebuilding. Like this is ridiculous, man. Like I did not think offensively we were going to be this bad. I will say that pitching wise, we thought we were going to be a little tougher, but injuries didn't help that situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, I didn't think the bats were going to be this bad, and it was so frustrating to have McGonigal come out and play the way he did. The expectations of this pitching staff, the expectations of this team so early on that you're like, dude, this team could hum. And then also Verlander coming in and maybe he can do something. Now he's going into the IR. Like it's time to deal Skubal. My question to you, Fred, I'm not even asking if we should or we shouldn't, because I know for a fact you feel he's got to be gone. You've been saying it for a while. Where does he go and who do we get? That's the better question. What are we going to get here for him? And can this help us get finished decently in the second half? Because to your point, if we can be productive in the second half of the season with potential prospects, we still have an opportunity to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're 5 or 7 games out of the playoffs, like right now, with a team that's like in the trainer's room. Like it's crazy how effective the injuries are. The thing with Scoobs right now, man, is he's got to go through his throwing program. He's got to get I'm not a lot of people. It's very early right now, too. By the way, like this
As
year,
as far as trade deadline, or as far as where he's at in his injury. Okay.
I mean, the deadline is like August 3rd. So like,
okay, I would say 2
right
months.
now, and listen, it's probably better for the Tigers anyway, because right now, no one is it. I mean, people are interested, obviously, but if the teams that are interested right now, they have till August to see how his recovery ends
Right.
up. So like nothing is going to happen in June. Like I know like you want to get rid of him earlier than later. The problem is after an injury, he still has to go through his workout, his throwing programs. I know he threw a bullpen session, 35 pitches or something like that. So, he'll be throwing another bullpen. He probably will skip a minor league start, maybe, because he'll just build up with live pitching and stuff like that. And then maybe like, I could see him like just skipping a minor league rehab start and then pitching 4 innings, let's say, instead of doing minor league start. But people need to see what he looks like.
The rumors around here right now are saying that he's ahead of his schedule as far as of like the training and how long he was going to be out. So he's kind of ahead of schedule, which obviously is a good sign.
Yeah.
But we want him to be as healthy as possible so we can dangle that carrot in front of everybody's face who has the ability to give us what we need to finish the second half of the season.
I mean, you have to, but yeah, so you just have to wait until he makes he's not getting dealt until he makes a start. Like, I mean, why? Like maybe.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Rehab's done. He looks good. Where's he going?
I mean, I read a lot about the Yanks, and I don't want it to happen. I'm not sure he fits into our rotation right now, to be honest. But with the way that relief pitching has changed the game, the Dodgers have changed the game. You can't have enough starters. So like that, it wouldn't surprise me. the thing is with Skubal this year on a rental basis, I'm not talking about at the end of the season. I'm talking about August and
Finishing up
September.
second. Right.
It would be dumb for any team that is making a run not to pick up Skubal. You're going to pay his salary for August and September, a shitty salary, in today's day and age, right?
Yeah, right.
You're going to pay 2 months' salary. And you're also not going to give up as much as you would have given up
Had he not got hurt.
prior to this year in the offseason.
Prior to the right.
When
But more importantly, the injury.
Yeah, but like when everybody was like throwing their hat in the ring in the offseason and there were the rumored trades and stuff, like the rumor trade for the Yankees was like Cam Schlittler, Ben Rice, and Spencer Jones. Now, if you look at what's going on today, Cam Schlittler is leading the league in ERA. Ben Rice is almost leading the league in hitting. Spencer Jones is our number one top prospect, center fielder. So it's like before this year, everybody was like that was the package and stuff. And it was like, that's what the Tigers wanted. Something like that. And good for them for wanting that. That's amazing. I am just so glad that they didn't go through with something like that. Because like that would have totally ruined us, especially it would have been in such Yankee fashion too, that they give away like
and he comes out and gets hurt.
Yes, it would have been right up our alley. So like I just feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Yanks scoop them up. It just depends on like what do they want or what are they gonna get. They're not gonna get a king's ransom anymore. As opposed to if they did something in the offseason last year where they would have gotten a ton of shit. Now, I don't know what they're going to get. And if the Yanks can get away with giving them, I mean, Yanks have a lot of starting pitching, which is good. But if they can get rid of one of their lower end starters and maybe a prospect or something like that, just to pay his salary, I don't know what else you're going to ask for. You're only getting somebody for 2 months. You're not getting somebody like, you're not going to get an all-star for lending him out for 2 months. If it happened in the offseason, it would have been we're talking a different situation. Or if he didn't get hurt. So
potentially this could blow up in the Tigers' face. That's all I'm hearing.
Terrible for the Tigers. When you said to me that it was the best thing to happen to the Tigers, I said the opposite. And like we'll obviously find out how it ends up shaking up. But I think it's terrible for the Tigers because they're going to get a fraction of what they would have gotten, and it's like it's a throwaway year now. Obviously, almost it's not almost.
I mean,
we're almost at the part where we see the dude with the chains. Who's that? I love that kid.
Dude with the chains.
Yeah, he's one of your like top prospects, minor leagues.
Where's Miller?
I just love the kid. He's got swag.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Jackson Dart, to be honest with you.
Yes. He like they were all on him because he like dropped the ball in the outfield or something. But like we're close to seeing him. Like, like we're almost at the point where like it's gonna be a minor league, experienced team. See what these kids have and stuff like that.
I don't know if that's gonna be the case if you're gonna see him. Max Clark.
Yes.
I had to look it up. Max Clark. Yeah.
Where's he
Very
at?
Jackson Dart. What's that?
Where is he right now?
Toledo.
Is that triple?
Yeah. Buttheads.
Yeah, you'll definitely see. Because listen, you have to understand, you may lose a Riley Green in at this trade deadline. Like, like you have to understand, like I don't know who else is up at the end of this year for the Tigers. So because if you're already,
I think your boy Glaber is too. I think he only signed a 1-year extension.
Yeah. So like you may lose another guy, a piece to this team, as well as just losing Scoobs.
Right.
So I mean, listen, if somebody needs an outfielder and like Riley Green is on the table, I mean,
yeah, but just like I said, I mean, this city loves its Tigers, right? And I sent you a text message last night. I said, I walked into my my local pizza place here, and George just looks at me and goes, "Are you and Fred going to talk about how terrible the Tigers are? Because this is insane." Like, that's the first thing he says to me when I walk in. I said, "Okay, George, I mean my pie, but yeah, we'll talk about how shitty the Tigers are." Like, it's terrible, man. It's been such a terrible year for Detroit sports in general. I mean, sports calendar year, whatever.
So that was one of the
Oh,
things.
and then the boot, I didn't even bring this up. In the boot, the only thing that we had going for us was JB Bickerstaff winning Coach of the Year. And he gets beat by Joe Mazzulla from the Celtics, who doesn't even make it out of the first round. For God's sakes, the guy picks up a team who's won 14 games 2 years ago, takes him to the playoffs his first year, takes him to the playoffs the second year in the second round, and he loses. You know what, Fred? I hate to say it, but once again, I feel like you were right. You're saying that we're in a small market team, and we're getting small market screwed, in my opinion. It happened to Dan Campbell when we went to the playoffs, when he turned this franchise around, and now it's happening to JB Bickerstaff, to losing to Joe Mazzulla. It's like absolutely insane. And it wasn't like it was 1 or 2 votes. It was like 60-some to 29. The fact that he did not win the Coach of the Year award is absolutely crazy. And the fact that I'm hanging my hat on Coach of the Year awards just tells you how shitty these teams are. That's the problem. Like, that's what I was looking for. How do you know it was a good season? If your coach wins Coach of the Year, because he was not as shitty as he was the shittier year than the shit year. Like, my God, that was a straw that broke the camel's back. I wanted to open with that, and then we got sidetracked. But, like, come on. Why? Because he made it to the playoffs without Jason Tatum and lost to the Sixers? Got swept by the Sixers? Or, like,
yeah, I mean, game 7. But, like,
yeah, but blew a 3-1 lead. How are you win Coach of the Year? That makes no sense.
That team was supposed to be like down at the bottom of the division of the conference, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not sure how any of that shit operates. I don't get hung up on like off-season fucking voting and shit like that. But yeah, no, I know it sucks. And the thing is with, I just feel that anybody who lives in Michigan,
here we go,
all of Michigan, and I'm saying this to be honest. I don't care what like a Lion fan, Tiger fan, Wings, Pistons, whatever. If you're a Michigan sports fan in any way, and you want and you think that Michigan should be relevant in the sports world, you all should be writing a letter to the University of Michigan right now for making Michigan make Michigan great again. Like, it should be like one of those letters, because if it wasn't for the University of Michigan, Michigan sports would be obsolete. No one would, it would be the relevance. It wouldn't even move the fucking needle on relevance.
Well, and that's only in the past 3 years that Michigan has been relevant. I mean, for the most part, winning wise.
Yes, but you got to take what you're given, right? So, like, even if you're a hardcore state guy, you love blowing the logo on the midcourt, you're that guy, go green, go white, like all that. You should also be writing a letter to the University of Michigan and thanking them for keeping Michigan relevant in the world of sports.
The terrible part about this, Fred, is I can't argue with you. I can't come back and be
What's the difference?
Well, no, what about this? What do you want me to do? Talk about the 04 Pistons? You want me to talk about the 98 Pistons? You want me to talk about how we're living Hockey Town?
It's like, if you take the University of Michigan out of this picture, you're Idaho. Like, no, I'm serious.
Pump the brakes.
What?
Dude, everybody loves the Lions. You know,
I'm talking about the relevance.
Fair.
Yeah, everyone loves Boise State.
Points because of their blue field. Used to be blue field, right?
Yes. So, like, sit down, collect yourself. It's the Skubal farewell year. The fucking Lions didn't make the playoffs. The Pistons fucking #1 seed. I will wonder who we match up better against. OKC or Spurs. That whole thing. The Wings don't make the fucking
Listen.
over a decade. Write a letter to the University of Michigan and just say, thank you. Thank you, University of Michigan. Thank you for keeping Michigan relevant. So people understand that there's actually sports that goes on here. And there's winning.
I can't argue with you. It's the only team that's won anything in the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
I mean, you know what? Not the only team that's won. Your team, your alma mater is holding it down. I mean,
everyone needs to write Tony O'Neill and the Ferris State Bulldogs.
Who would have thought that Ferris State would be the face of Michigan sports?
Me, back in 2003 when I left.
Of course. But
Fair.
you know what? It is though.
Speaking of college, this will be our last thing. And did we already hear your big announcement? Was your big announcement that you got stuck in the parade and couldn't make your baseball? Please tell me that wasn't your big
No,
announcement.
much
You still
bigger
got
than that.
something in the holster? Okay. Let's
Much
talk about
bigger.
this. Let's talk about this, and then this will be the first time we ever talked about women's softball on this podcast. Now, it caught my attention over the weekend, and I tagged you in a TikTok reel about Jason Williams' daughter, White Chocolate, who, by the way, Fred, just got his invitation to the Internet Invitational. So we'll be playing in Portnoy's golf tournament, which is now $4 million for the prize, which I cannot wait. I cannot wait. He's one of my favorite people, Jason Williams, when he played. Now the way he is in all these podcasts and stuff, and what his storytelling is awesome. I can't wait to see him in there. But we're actually talking about it because of his daughter. Now, his daughter went to the University of Florida and played softball, highly recruited. I think she committed at like 14 years old, transfers to Texas Tech. Now they play each other in the playoffs, and they try mowing her down. I think she got hit 5 times, right, Fred? 5 times in the game. She's an absolute stud.
Well,
she hit a home run yesterday for Texas Tech, and they end up beating Florida, which ends up being a huge controversy. So now it's a big deal. Tell us what's going on in this world, because that's the thing that caught my attention. And obviously, being a big J. Will fan, I was like, tell me more. What?
yeah, so they got to play Florida in the regional. So before to get into so in the regionals, she got hit 5 times. And then after the game, they refused to shake hands. So like
That's
Florida,
what it was. Okay.
Florida refused to shake hands. Douche move. I don't know.
Classless.
Yeah, classless. But it's Florida.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I mean, not surprising. So like now they came in as the ranked 11, got through. They played today. So like right now we're big game last night, went to the 9th inning.
UCLA.
Yes.
Which they were
UCLA
leading most of the game.
UCLA is broke the record in home runs. I mean, these girls that are playing, like if you watch these games, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, like
I have been ever since I saw that reel. I'm like, I got to see what's going on here. But
yeah.
let me ask you this question. Where do these girls go after this?
So they're trying to create some type of leagues, right? Jenny Finch, where did she go? She went to the USA team and won a fucking medal. Like,
Right.
She has all these like strength and conditioning training centers, stuff like that. Yeah. But they are trying to create these women's softball leagues, but also there's women's baseball leagues as well that are opening up now. So that's going to start, I think, this fall or next year. But yeah, no, it's tough getting into coaching, stuff like that. It's like wrestling, right? College wrestling.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Great point.
But if you watch these games, man, they're all just total studs. Texas Tech right now they're playing. We're in the semis right now. So it's Texas versus Tennessee. Texas is not lost. So it's double elimination in the College World Series. So Texas would have to lose, and then they would play right after it, right? But if they win that first game, they go to the finals. Texas Tech's playing Alabama.
Because Tennessee has already lost once?
Yes.
Okay.
Tennessee's lost once, Texas hasn't. So, and then the other side of that is Alabama, Texas Tech. So Texas Tech has lost 1, Alabama hasn't lost. Alabama's the 1 in the country. Texas is 2. So like that game will be on later today, Texas Tech, Alabama. And if Texas Tech can win that one game, that will force another game. Yeah. So, I'm excited to watch it. Yanks are off today. So I'll be watching college softball all day. And, but yeah, no, it's awesome. Yesterday's game going into extra innings and stuff like that was pretty crazy. And then ended up like going to the 9th, I think. But yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome, dude.
Yep.
Jay Will at the game, chilling.
We got to wrap up because we're at our time. But ever since late last night, I've been dying to hear, Fred. What is the announcement, Fred?
Well, so here, my major announcement. I'm on a couple socials, and I wanted to break it here first. Right? There's a lot of rumors out there. I'm not sure. I don't want anyone to listen to anything they've ever heard or saw on the internet regarding me. I'm going to tell you right now, my announcement is this. I will not be performing at the Freedom 250 Great American Fair this year.
Was there a rumor that you were?
Listen, I can't control that, right? Brett Michaels, CNC Music Factory, Morris Day, TGI Freddie. It seemed like my agent wasn't talking to me. We didn't communicate, right?
Right.
So, but I wanted to break it here first. I wanted to let you know this, that
Appreciate it.
no, I am not performing at the Freedom 250 Great American Fair in DC.
Right. Okay, good. I'm glad you cleared the air. I'm glad you cleared the air. I had you could have gave me 100 guesses and I would have not even came close.
I'm going to stand by that too. I'll take
I believe you.
I'll take the
I
heat.
believe
Spoke to my family about it. Never a doubt in my mind.
for sure.
So, and I just wanted you to hear it first. I
appreciate
It's Monday,
people.
y'all, to hear it first.
the people. All right, we got a movie to watch this week, Momentum, for Friday's podcast on Couch Critics. Guys, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. We had a crazy amount of views on the video last week. I was super excited about that. That podcast series is starting to really take off. Obviously, Project Hail Mary was a great movie. Follow us, get on there. Fred, you need to get on YouTube and start being a little more active in that. I know you have the time. Get on there. There's a lot of comments on there in regards to us saving the world. So get on there. I think you'll have some fun with it. But
I don't think I can respond to the comments unless I create a account.
Jesus, Fred, you boomer. Yes, create an account so you have an account.
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube account, but I will. I will do that.
Let's make that this afternoon's mission while you're watching women's softball.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right, Fred, I'll see you on Friday, my friend. Take care.